Here we have our 2002 Trans Am WS6 edition. This vehicle came to us with a stock LS1, came with a stock LS1 back in the day. We got it with a P1SC Procharger, and with a little bit of tuning and a couple little upgrades, we made a modest 600 to the tire. Now, we started to have issues after that. We were pushing a little too much. Come to find out, we ended up burning a ring in a couple of the pistons. So we were a little low on compression, a few holes. And we decided to upgrade, knowing full well we were gonna make even more power. We started with getting an LQ9 iron engine block, short block built with Calais rods, forged steel crank, and diamond pistons. We have LS3 brawler heads, as well as on top with our LSXR Fast 102 intake. This is going to alleviate us a little overhead for horsepower, looking about 1200 capable. We're not looking to make that kind of power, but we did, instead of using the P1SC, happen to have our F1X Pro Charger laying around, decided that should go on it. Procharged doesn't make a kit to go on this, so we built this kit in-house in partnership with Procharged, getting a Corvette kit to go on it, and then working in accessory kits in order to make the drive assembly work appropriately. Now we're looking at about 850, and we also did other upgrades, knowing we're going to have a lot more in order to maintain 850 horse respectively. These are notorious for having cooling issues. We had to put a larger radiator in, but we also mounted the Procharged on the passenger side up top. So that doesn't give us room for the original radiator. Instead, we built our own engine cradle type system to hold the radiator lower and lean it in the fashion that a C7 Corvette, so away from the motor at the top. That gives us a lot more room up top in order to put the Procharged, an air filter box that we built here custom in-house, and all the charge tubing that's required. The radiator itself is a dual pass radiator. So not only does the coolant go through it once like a normal radiator, but it goes through it twice. We also then incorporated a C7 19-inch pulse width modulated brushless fan from DeWitt's. That's also 835 watts, way more capable than the factor fan setup. So we're good in cooling now. Then we had to know that we needed more braking power. They do make brake upgrade kits for this, but they are not quite to the specification that we want. We want something a little bit above. So we got a brake system that handles front calipers off of a C6 car, but instead of using the stock C6, like a base car, we used the Z06 calipers. 6-piston, individual pucks, 14-inch rotor, barely fit in these 17-inch wheels. With a little modification and a little bit of finessing, no problem. Then we also need to do the rears. Nobody makes rears for this. Caliper upgrade, big brake, nothing. We engineered our own brake system in-house using calipers off of an entirely different vehicle. In fact, it's an entirely different make of vehicle, but it also has 14-inch rotors in the rear and fills the wheels up entirely as 17-inch wheels with a 4-piston Brembo style stationary caliper in the rear. We also have an entire UMI and BMR chassis components with the torque link, subframe connectors, panhard bar, all of it. Everything all the above, full suspension. So there's no room for 3-inch pipes duals. So we developed in-house 3-inch oval piping to give us all the clearance we need, all custom, from the headers all the way back over the axle. And then to top it all off with the drivetrain, we needed even more clutch.
And to handle all the horsepower we've added to this WS6, we've got a dual disc aluminum flywheel clutch capable of 1,200 foot-pounds of torque handling. And that also lightens our clutch and flywheel pack by about 15 to 20 pounds in order to give it a little bit of quicker revs, a little bit better decel, and keep the same power capabilities.
With our F1X Pro Charger, we knew that the stock P1SC intercoolers weren't going to be enough. Procharged hooked us up with a huge 5-inch I would say 28, 30-inch wide intercooler to go on the front of this. And that required some clearancing on our front fascia. And open the hole up in the center and use the fog light holes also to flow air in through our cooler. That also required us to build all new charge piping from the Procharger all the way around back into the intake, all the way through the intercooler. We have 1200cc injectors, and then we customized our own intake tube off the F1X in order to keep a large air filter. As everybody knows that runs an F1X or any F1 series and above Procharger, most of the time they'll crush a filter. Well, we didn't want to have a street car running with no filter on it, especially on a brand new engine, big F1X Procharger, we need to filter it. We built a custom filter tube and got an S&B massive filter to go on the end of that. To keep our power level and everything charging where it needs to be with all the accessories and everything we've added onto this, we worked with McKinney in order to get a large, all black, to match the engine, alternator, single wire, in order to incorporate it with our new engine build. Now, the original fuel system on this car was sufficient for 600 horsepower, using a Racetronics 340 liter per hour pump and stock rails and stock lines going up to the engine. But this time around, 850 and plus, we needed to change that around. We replaced the Racetronics 340 with dual Aeromotive 420 liter pumps. Now, with that being the situation, that's a lot more fuel to flow. We weren't going to be able to flow through the stock line. We routed all new 8AN line with filter from the tank all the way up front, utilizing the stock fuel line as a return from the aftermarket regulator we put in. With that being the case, and all the extra fuel and all the extra power we're making, we needed to let the motor breathe a little bit. We hooked up with Mighty Mouse in order to get their largest can possible for breathing, and they are the ones we use on every vehicle we have here.